What would you do without Jesus Christ? What would I do without Jesus Christ? I think life would, especially in my own case, if you know anything about me on my channel, my life would be quite unmanageable. And it was unmanageable to the point of death. I don't want to get too much into that, but just to say this, that the pain that I suffer with physically is of a nature that draws many people towards that option. But when I was truly saved and born again, there were things that I never could even imagine would make me, even despite that pain, to want to keep pushing and actually to do things that I never imagined. Things that I never even believed were possible again in my physical state. And God helped me build up, and physically and mentally. I suppose I'll talk a little bit about that, but I just want you to know the freedom that is in Jesus Christ. You know, we walk through life, we walk through life, and we live in a modern society that kind of, more so than most places of the world, right? I'm talking about the Western model of society, because not everyone views the world in the way that the West does. And, you're put into categories of, mental illness, social, biopsychosocial, they give labels. You have to reach certain levels of education. There's poverty here. They always have poverty, but, you got to walk through every developmental stage of life, right? That's what I'm studying in my addictions counseling right now, where people, there's like 4 different developmental stages of life. And if you don't make it through each of those developmental stages, like after high school, getting a job and education, you fail to move through those, then your life can go off track. It's just like after retirement, there's another developmental stage, right? You're suddenly your persona, who you are, is no longer there, and you have to learn how to adjust and deal with that. That's another developmental stage. So it's like we're forced into these categories of what you and I should and shouldn't be. And it's not as if I don't agree with those developmental stages. I do, because it's what happens. But it's the freedom in Jesus Christ is not about developmental stages. It's about who you are. It's about Him. And it's about true freedom. A freedom that, as Jesus said, you must be born again to see the kingdom of heaven. You must become like children, right? I really implore you to look at what that means. To stay away from the false systems of Christianity and search for the one true God. And that's not easy to do. Because that means that, listen, I don't know what you've come from, because I came from a place of absolute hell. And what I said I would talk about very briefly. I thought I just wanted to get my diagnosis for my pain disorders. And I had inflammation in my spine and adhesions in my spine. And I couldn't walk for almost 10 years. Trapped in a bed and a couch. It was horrible, man. And I had other pain disorders that were really serious too. But it became so overwhelming that I couldn't get to any one of them. My time had run out. It became so much. What can a person who doesn't speak, who's lying, just sitting on a couch with no energy in the top level of pain, what's he going to do? And I had tried, but I wasn't treated correctly because I didn't find it. So I was in a place where I wanted to die. And the things that I suffer with, people commonly go to those things. But I didn't truly want to die. I wanted to end the suffering of the pain, but also the emotional of not knowing the things that were wrong with me. 13 and 18 years. I was tortured emotionally, mentally, by that. But when God led me to pardon me a sec, guys. It's my stomach. Just one part of what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into physical and mental suffering in this video, although it's certainly a reason why it's good to turn towards God. I mean, there was no hope left in my life. There was nothing. I didn't have anything at all. The only thing I cared about was being out of pain, and deservedly so. And to push that forward, just my spine there is the most painful disorder on the earth. It's called adhesive arachnoiditis, and man, did it ever do a job on me. And it was the only one primarily treated by opiates. That's the first line treatment. That's the only disorder that has that. And like, I lost everything that mattered to me in my life. And I just felt like there was nothing left. I just felt like an empty shell of, what is it that I'm going to do today? Thinking back about your life, the things you did right and wrong and all those types of things. And although I was in these pains, and although the things that I suffer with were not being recognized, I was trying to turn towards God. And I was, as it says, seek first the kingdom of God, and the rest shall be added unto you. I don't know what position you're in. You could be in the worst position in the world. You could be living on the street. You could be living in a van or a car. You may be in a drug withdrawal. You may have family who are against you. It may be a whole lot of different things. And maybe all of those put together. I felt truly alone in more capacities than one. Like, I could not have. I had a very low quality of life score. That's not what it is today. I still have these pains, but with God's help, I got all my diagnosis except 2 of them. I have a whole bunch of them. But then I started building my body. I started to do things because I knew God was with me. So that's just it. There's freedom in Jesus Christ. I did a video before this, so pardon me. Like, it really gets my stomach, and it's hard not to say this on a video. So know that in these videos, I really suffer. I want you to see my suffering. Because what's the point of me making this if I'm suffering and talking about Jesus? Isn't Jesus supposed to do the greatest things for us? And, well, that's just it. That when something happens to a person, when they get sick, they leave Jesus. I think one of the problems is faith. Do you really know what faith means? And to be honest, even though I believed in Jesus all my life, I knew he was. And also knew I loved him. But there was a discrepancy that it was not reflecting that. I actually teach this when I conduct addiction groups, substance use groups. There's a discrepancy there. It's like your hierarchy of values, a discrepancy. You say you love Jesus, but yet you're in the world. So when you actually open the scriptures, don't walk in with unbelief. Read it. Believe that everything that's said in there is true, and there are no mistakes in there. When I go back and I think of the things I went through in my life, let's just say from when high school came, junior high school, and then high school, just looking at how worldly it was and drugs and alcohol, and these were the days when there were not when there weren't smartphones. There was parties all over the place, and I just got completely lost in addiction, drinking, trauma, and because of trauma, I just kept using and doing those types of things, and it was leading nowhere in my life, and just a life of I guess I don't have the best words. I didn't have the best life because I wasn't willing to confront myself about, what was it that went wrong? Why do you keep using? I don't use anymore. I'm using like 17 years. But this is what I'm saying. We walk through our lives trying to fill ourselves with something. Everywhere you look, someone's trying to fill themselves with food. Someone's trying to fill, and it pertains to today more than any day of any time. It's actually one of the subjects of my discussions in university right now, today. What's wrong with society? Why did it turn out this way? It's always to keep people going in this world, it's to buy the newest thing. Like I hate on my computer, I hate on a phone when it's update, right? Or something that clearly works very well, they keep changing. The newest thing, food, all these different things. Food, sex, candy, drugs, boats, cars, homes. When you're young, you dream of these things, and maybe some of you have attained these things. Pardon me, my stomach. I will continue this. I have to keep putting Sometimes I really suffer in these videos, and that's right now. It makes it very hard to think clearly. And then when I get off this video, it's just another thing, why do I trust in Jesus even though I go through this hell that I'm going through right now? If any of you guys tried to get on a video in this condition, you would probably turn it off immediately. But the reason I keep going is because I have faith in Jesus. I don't care what people see on a video. We're supposed to display our suffering to help the body of Christ, to help them heal, to show them that they also can do the same things. So we walk through those things from our youth. I was an 80s kid. I was born in the late 80s. And I was in a perfect position to see the rise of all these new things. Whatever it was, G.I. Joe, and all the way up to the things that they have now. And those things, without going through the whole list, I saw decade after decade, it was about making money, it was about making new things. The best new thing, that's what it's about in this life. We live in a very decadent society. Those things can never, ever fill your heart. They can never fill your heart, your soul, your spirit. And those who are not born again, who are watching this right now, you don't have a Spirit of God yet. And that's what I hope that you will find. You have a choice to pick Jesus Christ today. I believe that the Bible shows that it's by free will, but God also chooses people. It's both. It's clearly both. I don't take the Calvinistic approach, and I don't take the full free will either. Because when you look in the Bible, you see Pharaoh, you see Judas. Those things. Do you think a car, or do you think about money and making more money? And not that these things are bad for you. I hope that you're able to make what you need to feed your family, to go on a vacation, to do those things, but not to idolize them. We live in the worst time of idolizing. American Idol, right? Just think of that name. And I'm just saying, has Netflix become your idol? Excuse me. Whatever's become your cars, and you know me talking here, it's not those things. I don't care what you have. You could have the most expensive Bugatti. That's not going to unsave you. Maybe you want to do it for fun, but has it become your idol? There is nothing that can replace what Jesus Christ can do in your heart and change you completely. So that's what happened in my life. And without going over the story too quickly, it was a quickening of my spirit. I didn't expect it to happen. It was very quick. It was within like a week. But it happened within a day that I felt something in my soul, just this conviction, that conviction from above, that everything I did and said, I felt like I was being judged by the Spirit of right and wrong. And I'm a person who likes right and wrong all throughout my life, but this was different. If I have a fight with someone and I say something like F you, okay? If I say that because I'm so angry, after that, or immediately, the Spirit's going to convict me and I'm going to have to say sorry or something like that, or try to work it out type thing, if that person's even willing to work it out. It's in everything you do. So you will know if the Spirit of God is truly in you. Those who say they are changed, but clearly display no fruits of the Spirit, they make themselves manifest. And listen, I like this analogy where they say that, you should know them by their fruits, but it's not always that way, okay? And what I mean by that is angels of light can still produce fruit, good and bad. No one ever talks about that. What was I going to say? If a person claims to have been changed, it would be the analogy of, and I tried to say this before, I'm trying to say this the right way, but if I tell you that I'm changed is the equivalent by Jesus Christ, that he has come into my life and saved me, is the equivalent of a person saying, I was hit by a truck, but yet they still have their t-shirt on, their head isn't cracked, right? Their face isn't smashed up. In the same way, if your life is not transformed after seeing God, it's the equivalent of being in the throne room of God and seeing God. You can tell if a person's life was transformed. And yes, it takes time, but there is freedom in Jesus Christ to wake up in the morning. And it says if you don't have money, it's not about that. And if they come and they take you to kill you and persecute you, you still have the love of Jesus Christ, and he'll still be your rear guard. Your side guard, your above and your front. We're not impermeable. We can still die. Someone can still kill us. But they will not prosper off of that. Don't get confused at that. No weapon against thee shall prosper. No tongue, People still get hurt, okay? They still do. But they will not prosper in it. So like I was saying, you cannot fill yourself with the things of this world. And if you love the world and the things in it, the love of the Father is not in you. There's a way to tell if a person has been changed. And I'm not out to decide. I'm not a judge. I don't want to judge whether people are or not, but I can still look and see. But do you not want to be changed like that? Do you not want to be like, I don't care about the next thing, about the next update, about the next thing, about the next story, about the 3 Atlas and all these lies being strewn throughout the society? I'm not saying don't look at those things. What I'm saying is it's all about Jesus Christ and what he did for us. The reason that you and I exist on this planet. I don't care what you see in front of you. I don't care what the situation is in your society, what it looks like, what's going on in your life, what's going on, good or bad. We are here. We are surviving the life that we are given, the amount of time that we are given in this life. It could be 40,000 days. 80 years, I believe, is around 40,000 days. So in those 40,000 days, if you're lucky enough to have that many days, your best day for eternal life is just one of those days. We're here just to choose the devil or God. Either one, you choose. And it appears that the devil is winning right now, but he's not. He is the God of this world, lowercase g. He took Adam's spot in the book of Genesis because Adam ate of the apple. He's the responsible one. Even though Eve did first, he's responsible because he was made first. And because of that, there's been a fall ever since. Do you want to live in a world of hope? Hope that never is unsearchable, that there's no searching. You can't search the end of it. And there it is. Do you not want that hope? Do you not want that hope? You know what? You think of those things, cars, money, sex, those things, gambling, they can never fill you. And even if you were to have every one of those in a day to the top degree you could have possible, when you're done and when you wake up the next day, you'll just want more. It never fills. Think of someone like, what was his name? Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner is going to burn in the lake of fire because he never chose Jesus Christ. Look at his life. That must have been fun, eh? You can wake up and have a bag of money in front of you, and you can have your treasure here on earth because you've chosen the devil. We only exist to choose. Some of us are here because we've been chosen. We may feel like we also choose. Maybe that's so. I don't know. I don't like to get into those disputes, as Paul says. I think it's amazing that now you may not be with my belief system on this, and this has been a big part of my channel lately, that I believe the end of time is before 2031. That's where we are. I've read the scriptures, I've spent many hours in them to know like it says, the times and the seasons and the prophecies of God that are happening really, really quickly. The end times ones, the book of Daniel, Isaiah, like, man, Revelation and Daniel, which are two of the same, really. You can't really know one without the other. So we're in that time. I find it truly amazing that, and I felt this in my heart last night, that this, what I'm talking to you right now, this camera, this computer, these cell phones, these smartphones, these devices, this transhumanism, they're not going to stand. We are not going to get into a big technological age that's going to last more than 5 years. I believe it took technology, as you can see in a video that I made, maybe within the last 10 videos. All the devil needed was the right technology to enslave you and us, and God will not stand for it. I believe Donald Trump is the Antichrist, and his death will be like this. I think you know what I mean. I can't reveal this. Put your faith in God. We're here for one reason only. So when you actually get to your death, why do you think there are deathbed confessions? Because people are really afraid, and then they're willing to turn to Christ, and I don't blame them. And that reminds me of the very last people who were saved, right? And we shall not be envious of them. You know, you and I who have tried to work and tried to save people. We want everyone. We want everyone in the hedges, right? Call them. You know, the king called all the people of the hedges and the roads everywhere. And I just want to leave you with this. I'm having a lot of trouble because my esophagus and my throat. I asked you guys to pray for something a while back, and a number of times which you guys have. I asked a very specific prayer from God. I mean, it was really precise type of prayer. I can't reveal it yet, or I feel it may not fully happen. But I want to let you know this. I'm going to let you know I hope it's within the next month or two. But I prayed for something, and it happened in a way that will blow you away. God is good. God is really good. I asked him for something so specific to help someone. It was really specific. You wait till you hear it. And he answered it. And I can prove it too. But in any case, that's just another reason why you should put your faith in God. If it's in his will, he will grant you whatever you want. And he will help you. He will never leave you. And that's one of the best things. God is with you. It's too bad I have to do these in the amount of the abdominal, the esophageal. It's very hard for me to make these and to express to you the distress that I feel. It's not, when I stop talking and I stop this camera, I feel a lot better, right? And I can reset myself in my abdomen and stuff like that. But it takes some time. What do I want to say? Yes, that's just it. It's so much so that it's really hard to think. I would be so much better speaker if I didn't have to take so many pauses and think like this. You know, I'm dealing with 9 out of 10 pain in my abdomen pretty much on a constant basis. So, but it's treated though. God bless.